All right, so what we're going to do now for our next step of our project is we are going to do our embossing project. And this is like after you've gotten all your stuff glued down, which I didn't get a chance to, but I do want to show you the next step is you're going to put your tin foil back over your square and you're going to make sure that it's down. It doesn't need to be underneath it, underneath your cardboard piece, but it does need to be down. And you need to flip your piece over and tape one little side. Okay? If you don't have tape, you can use glue on the side, but you do need to have this piece secure because you're going to be working from this side over for your whole project. Okay? Now, things that I have learned before I decided to video, I wanted to make sure that I knew, like I gave myself some ideas on how this was going to work. And a lot of people say that you can use the back of your eraser on your pencil to press down on your tinfoil and to go around all of your yarn that's glued down so that you have this nice embossed piece. But what I have found is that if you look really, really closely, right in here, I have this little cut right here from the eraser. It had too much of a grip and it grabbed a hold of the tinfoil and it ripped it. So we don't want to do that. We do want to use these Q-tips that I have sent you. Okay? These nice little Q-tips. And we're not going to like force things to go into certain spots. We're just going to be very, very gentle. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to make a crease with my finger right here. I'm going to press this all down because this was the border that I kept plain. And I'm going to go over and I'm going to press with my finger just to start it. But I wanted to start by pressing this little piece down as well. And then I want to go back in here and just press this down just a little bit, just so I know where things are. And I want to make sure I have a nice crease on both sides, so that way you have that nice pressed down piece. And I'm going to zoom it in for you so you can see this a little bit better. I want you to see what I'm doing. All right, so I pressed on this side of the yarn right here with the Q-tip, and it's gliding nice and smooth. It's not sticking to anything. And then I pressed on this side right here, and I just followed the shape because this is that flower that I had around on the edge near my hummingbird thing. It was like a parrot hummingbird. That's what it looked like. And then I'm going to press right down here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm pressing on this side of the yarn, and I'm going to press on this side. And I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. And I got this little corner right here that had a little piece. And then on this side, I had some yarn. Okay. And we're just following it right into this space. All right. I'm just checking to make sure that everything's still lining up where I had it before. Might have to press it. There it is. Okay, so I don't want to lose this stuff that I already did. So we have this nice shape right in here. This was one of those little tight spots that I had. It was kind of tricky. This is my bottom one. I'm just checking on things at this point right here. I'm just going back in and I'm checking things because I still have to relift this foil, and I will be putting glue on it and then gluing it down. So each little section will have maybe see, we don't want these little rips that I already had them there, but I wanted to go back in. So this is why we learn things. This is a learning process sometimes, and sometimes it happens even to art teachers. Okay, so we're just pressing pieces down with the Q-tip so that way we still have all of our little pieces. And I wasn't careful and I accidentally ripped it even with the Q-tip. So we have to be careful. So this is the leaf at the bottom. This is the flower now that we're starting to see it. And you have to do things in order. So it's not going to press down if you, okay, so this is why we start on this end. So you do this end first, and then you do each little piece, and now I skipped this little spot, which I shouldn't have done, because now I got to go back in and lift this and then try all over again, because we want it to be pressed down. That's the whole point of embossing. And then I have to like move some of this over a little bit, which is fine. It's just you have to notice things as we go, and sometimes, you know, even I mess up. And make sure you're using the side of the Q-tip and not the very pointy part, because sometimes the point will like rip some of your stuff, and we don't want that. So I have this part going on. So now that I have this stuff done, what I wanted to do is I'm going to go back in. And I know that like sometimes you think we should have done this before we started kind of thing, but it's not something that you really want to deal with right at the beginning. You don't want to glue things down. So I'm just going to put like just a tiny bit of glue inside each one of these, just so that my embossing stays down. My glue doesn't want to work with me today. This is the one that gave me a hard time last time. We'll grab a different glue really quick and we'll just do this. So you're going to put a little bit of glue in with all of these. Yep, see, this is how glue should come out, not difficult like the other spot. So you put a little bit of glue in your sections where you definitely want your embossing to stick down. So I would do this whole section right here, but not a lot because I don't want it to be all lumpy. And then right in here, in this little square. So I'm only going to do little pieces at a time. So this is the part that I just pressed down. So this is fun. We're going to do this again. We'll make sure that we start in the right spot. So the glue is going to hold my foil down now. So that way it won't lift up as I go throughout this. So again, I know it's like a little bit of a process, but it looks so nice in the end. And we don't want... Ooh, I had a little bit of glue come out of that little hole. So you got to be careful of little things like that. So we can press these down now because we had a little bit of glue in there, and that'll hold them in their spot where we want them to be. And I want to just, again, reestablish that that's there. I'm just checking things really quick. I know I have a little spot here and a little spot here and a little spot right there. I don't want to lose too much of these little details that I put in. And I'm going to put this here and here and here and here. And then again, I'm just going to go around my edges because I am going to end up putting glue right in here just to hold it down. But I want to make sure that my flower sticks out. Then I'll start on my bird. All right, so I will post a finished picture when I get this completed.